Adam Lerner, and welcome to the Portfolio Review. A lot of you guys sent in your portfolio websites, and I'm really grateful that I got to look at so much incredible work. In fact, the portfolios keep coming in, and I can't get through them all at once, so I'm really taking my time, but there's a handful of them that really stand out. A lot of you guys have sent stuff out there. I know you're really eager for me to look at your work and to critique it. And I wish I could look at everything and talk about everything, but I can only really focus on a few. Okay, so if I don't pick your portfolio, it doesn't mean that it wasn't good enough. It doesn't mean that I didn't like it. Please don't take that personally. It just means that I've highlighted a few examples that I want to talk about. When I'm doing the portfolio critique, I'm looking at your website and your portfolio, and I'm looking at both things. I'm looking at how your website acts. I'm also going to talk about things that I like or don't like about your website, beside talking about things I like, and maybe talk about things that you could possibly improve upon with your website and your portfolio or your work. Now, this is just my opinion. This is only the opinion of one person, so please don't take anything I say personally, because I'm not criticizing you. I'm really just looking at ways that maybe I can help to give you some pointers to better market yourself, to maybe bring out more of the strengths in what I see are your strengths in your work. At the same time, I also at times I'm going to find things in your work that I think I can improve in my work as well. We all can improve. There's always room for improvement. That's the beautiful thing about photography. It's a creative evolutionary process. Okay, one of the things that I love about photography is that I'm always being motivated to work harder, to challenge myself more. I critique my work. I look to a handful of friends whose opinions I really trust and let them critique my work as well, because I think it's really important to not get too far into a rut. You know, it's a good idea to challenge yourself, to try to find ways that you can better yourself as a photographer. So keeping all that in mind, please know again that this is not personal, that I'm not trying to upset anybody, that I really want to keep this positive, and if I find things that I don't like, I'm just going to come out and say them, okay? Also, if you guys like my channel and you want to keep up to date with what I'm doing, please take a moment to subscribe. And when you do, go into the notifications and make sure that you either check off to be notified by email or in your feed when I post a new video. That way you can stay current with what I am doing and posting. All right, so let's get into this critique. And the first portfolio website that I'm looking at here is Stephen J. Cameron. Now, I really like the fact that his website is very clean, okay? There's just a very simple navigation over here. There's a little bit of copyright information. It looks like there's a Flickr logo link over here to link to his Flickr. I love the fact that the website is fully scalable, so you can stretch it right out to full screen. I think that's really cool. And right off the bat, we've got this kind of cool, vintagey looking sun-kissed image of a girl, just kind of a natural shot. It's cool, and I think it definitely brings some attention. I like the way that it's all blown out back there, and we've got lens flare over here. It's very cool. I mean, this could have been shot anywhere, Central Park, a park, anywhere, who knows. So let's get into portraits, because I am a portrait photographer and I want to kind of see what Stephen's portraits look like. Okay, so I'm going to click on portraits. And let's see. So now we've got this right-hand scrolling kind of deal. I don't necessarily think that this first image is the strongest image. In fact, I think personally that this is the image that we should be opening up with here. I think it's a much stronger lifestyle shot. I think that the sun-kissed kind of look is really cool. It's I'm not quite understanding, what it is other than like a pretty girl sitting on the rocks. Maybe if she was doing something or wasn't just sitting there kind of like awkwardly looking at camera. But I like that Stephen is going for this kind of fashion lifestyle thing. This to me just looks too much like a snapshot. So I'm going to skip that one. I'm going to go right to here. This diptych here with the books is kind of cool. You've got this really great leading line that kind of draws your attention in. You got this kid holding these vintage books. He's she's kind of looking off in a kind of an interesting way. Then we've got this crop over here. The focus, I think, should be on whatever is on this binding. The focus looks like it slipped and maybe got onto his thumb. So if you're going to try to do a diptych, I think that we need to have some more relevant information tying these two images together, but we're close. This is a great lifestyle shot. And in fact, I would say this is the one that we start off this portrait series with, okay? Because this one has, the energy, it's got the light, it's got the water, it's got the playfulness going on. I'm sure that there's a lot of great shots from this series. I would like to see some interaction between these two girls, but this is like an Urban Outfitters ad, which is awesome because it's really commercial and it's cute and it's fun. This again has a little bit more of that, kind of staged kind of look. It's a little bit awkward, grabbing the hair. Again, I don't feel it's quite as strong. It still has more of that snapshot. This has a real nice beauty shot look to it. I like that, that it's really isolated. I like kind of how the background kind of matches her skin tones. I think she's looking a little bit too far off to the side. I honestly think, maybe a little bit more eye contact would be cool. It's cropped a little bit tight on the head. But as far as a portrait goes, it's pretty cool. And I think that there's more and better stuff in this series. This is close, okay? We've got the cool lens flare. We've got the cute girl who's kind of smirking at the camera. We've got the nice blown out background. I want to see more stuff going on over here. Rather than just her standing, maybe striking some kind of like some attitude or something lifestyle-y or whatever. The position is a little flat. This one is great. Her eye contact is fantastic. The contrast of her, really light skin and her light dress on like this kind of murky water and all this stuff, excellent. Really super striking portrait. I think it's really strong. This doesn't do anything for me. I think that if we're trying to do a portrait of an artist, I kind of see what you're going for here. I think that this should be shot in a horizontal fashion so we see more of the lake and the scene that he's trying to paint. It's a little bit too tight. And this one doesn't do a lot as far as informing me about the artist as well. I think that maybe if we lost this image over here, or maybe even again, if we did two horizontals. But I like the fact that you're doing artist portraits, and I think that it's something you certainly can expand on. All right, we've got the cute girl, laying on her tummy, holding her head up with her hands in the field. Nice selective focus. It's a good picture. Is it great? I don't know if it's great, but it's good. And again, I think like some of the other lifestyle stuff, this could be a little bit stronger. It could be more playful. Maybe if you kind of pulled away a little bit and maybe there was a little bit more grass and you kind of offset her a little bit more, something like that. But it's cute. And I like that you're going for that lifestyle angle because I think you have a really good eye for it. Okay, this set of portraits right here, this is fantastic. Really, this one particularly, the black and white is just so strong. Really thick black and white, really nice framing. I love the selective focus, blown out background, great body language over here, great lines. This one's really cool. This one is not quite as good. There's a couple of things going on over here. The face, I don't know, he's not really connecting as much with the camera. The light's not quite as nice on his face. And we've got, the stride is not great. If you look at the way that this is, unless this is a vignette or something, it would have been a little bit better if maybe he was just a little further back from the frame. But I like what's going on here. I like what you're seeing, and I think that there's really great potential. And I think this is a really striking and very strong portrait. Okay, so now we've got the girl that was laying down, sitting up. It's cute. It's just got that cutesy vibe. I almost want to see her like sitting, on this fence and kind of like looking away or doing something a little bit more interesting because the scene is great. The focus that you've got is fantastic. It's just a little bit too cutesy, and that's all I have to say. Again, same kind of deal. Same deal as this one. Wonderfully shot, great processing, really great focus. It's just really cutesy, the hands on the knee and the legs extended. Now, granted, when you're starting out and you're just shooting your friends, sometimes it's hard to get them to model because they're not models. So it's not a bad idea to just say, hey, you're not modeling. Like, just hang out, do your thing, let them relax, unwind, talk to them, get them laughing, get them doing stuff. And then maybe you get something that looks a little bit more natural and a little bit less posed. Yeah, this is okay. It's a nice portrait. Again, the hand and the hair, and, it's a little bit posed, and that's just, there's that a variation, or maybe the lead shot from the front of the website. It's cute. It's a little bit more relaxed, than maybe this one. But it's not my favorite. I think that this one is really strong. I think, and the one that I thought this is my favorite. This I'd love to see is your splash page when we first get, and literally splash page, because I just think it just embodies that really good spirit. And I think that somebody who's looking to book a photographer for an advertising editorial kind of lifestyle shoot would really be drawn to this kind of a look. Let's keep going down, and we're over here. It's a solid portrait of a dude. Again, great focus, nice processing. I'm not, it's good. It's good, solid. Same thing with the guy on the bike. I like the attitude. I think the eyes are great. It's nicely shot. It's nicely edited. It'd be nice to see some variation, maybe just a little bit more of the bike and something like that. But it's a solid shot. These are great. These lifestyle shots here. I want to see more of this kind of thing. I want to see the walking. I want to see the interaction between these two people. This one is close. It doesn't quite do it. It's close. Okay. So I think that this is something that can really be expanded upon. Now, we're really seeing a lot of the same girl shot in the same way. I think in this case, you really have to choose and pick what is your best shot of this series, because there's not a whole lot of variation. But I do like that you're going for the sun-kissed look of the backlight with the lens flare. I think it's really cool, and I think it's something that you certainly could expand upon. But again, it's a little bit posy. I don't know if it's a real smile or not. So think about that. This one has a little bit of that snapshotty vibe. It's nicely shot, nicely processed, but it just looks like, hey, buddy, could you lean on that thing and give us a smile? I'd like to see it a little more natural. Now this here, that has that lifestyle shot. This is like, maybe one of those executive portraits. I think that, again, you've got real nice processing, nice thick black and white. I'm not crazy that you cut his feet off and you crop so close to the head. Maybe this would have been better as a vertical. The framing is really cool, because we've got these lines over here and all that kind of stuff. So I think that you just have to kind of worry, or not worry, but you should be careful about, looking at the feet, because I find it too awkward. The feet are cut off. Nice shot. I don't know necessarily if it's as strong as that one. I see what you're trying to go for here. Maybe if we didn't see as much of the building, we just kind of looked down this iron gate fence here, it would have been cool. The smoking one and the putting on the jacket. Yeah, I mean, look, I like that you're going for this whole kind of lifestyle look, okay? I would maybe lose this one over here and maybe just kind of use these over here. And this kind of is, now we're taking on, maybe like a J. Crew or something kind of like that vibe, which is cool, obviously, without the cigarette, because J. Crew, one of those brands, is not going to want to have one of their young models smoking. But I get what you're going for here, and I like that you're giving us, a few details from that shoot. Pretty girl sitting on rocks. Nicely shot and good light and all, but it's a pretty girl sitting on the rocks. Another shot of the pretty girl sitting on rocks. You take really nice photographs, your processing is nice, your skin tones are really nice, and you've got really, lovely people to shoot. I think you could definitely take it a little bit further. Have her walking around over here, just doing something where it's not just sitting and smiling at the camera. This is a little better. I like the kind of overall expression and all the negative space and how she's kind of thrown off to the side. That's really cool. This one's okay. It's a decent portrait. I don't love this portrait, but I think that, your portraits are strong. Great. The dude with his, totally, Raced out BMW, very cool. I wouldn't have minded if you didn't cut his feet off. But otherwise, it's a nice solid portrait, and it's a good contextual portrait because we've got the car. So just keep that in mind when you're framing your images. This series, lovely, pretty girl, it just doesn't do that much for me. It's just a little bit too posed, and that's all. These are kind of cool. These are nice and moody. I'm not quite sure what's going on here, but as far as portraits go, I like these two, and I would like to have seen you maybe done something maybe 3/4 or full body to give us a little bit more context into that character. So really nice job with your portraits. I think your lifestyle stuff is really strong, and I think that you have a lot to explore with that, like these little photo stories that you're developing over here, that your friends that, you're exploring them with their interest, bicycling and cars and stuff like that. I think that there's a lot of room for you to really explore in that area. So let's go over to concert. All right. Now, these are nice concert shots, but the unfortunate thing is that most anybody can get a pass and shoot from the pit. And I don't want to take anything away from your concert shots because they're nice, they're fine. But they're the kind of stuff that that's actually out of focus, so I would lose that. And I wouldn't have to. Again, if you want to be a concert or rock and roll photographer, then just make the most amazing concert and rock and roll shots. But just shooting from the pit, it's, again, I don't want to take anything away from it, but virtually anybody can get a pass and get the same sort of shots from the pit. These shots are fine. They're nice. Nothing is really blowing my mind. I mean, they're all shot really well. Your processing is really solid. A few of them have some focus issues. But I don't necessarily think that your concert stuff is anywhere nearly strong enough. Is not nearly as strong as your lifestyle portrait stuff. And I know that you're probably front loading your concert stuff with people that are a little bit more well known, but I think that the stronger shots is like this one over here, maybe this guy over here. Focus is a little bit tough on these, but again, I don't know if your concert stuff is really your strongest stuff. Let's go over to nightlife. Wow, this is really cool. You're going out, you're hanging out in a bar or club. There's great attitude going on over here. She's, got this incredible, cool expression. She's all dressed up. Like she's got these two other gals that are kind of framing with these neon benches. That is a very cool lifestyle shot. That has branding. That has advertising. That's the kind of stuff that art buyers want. This doesn't. Okay. This is, it's a snapshot. I would lose that, because I don't really understand, what's going on with it. Yeah, not so much, we don't know who it is or what it is. Okay, I could see what's going on over here. You're covering this event. I would actually say that this is cooler because as a party, you're getting the interaction of these two gals that are dancing, with your flash. She's giving you the peace sign. This one I think is stronger than this one over here, probably because of the laser lights and stuff, but it's still, we're not getting enough information. It's always good to do, DJ detail shots. It'd be nice to get a shot of the DJ and the crowd to tie the two things in. These are great, kids just partying and, smiling and having fun for the camera and being all sweaty. That's definitely more in the lines. Another good one, it'd be nice if somebody was making contact with the camera. Okay, same kind of stuff. I like that. I like the dude that's, giving you the devil horns, more devil horns. There are people that make a living shooting events and parties, and I would just say that if you are going to be promoting yourself that way, put your strongest images up there. Again, this is like a third version of that same stage shot, which doesn't do much. Nor does this one. Her feet are cut off, and there's not, I don't know, it's not as strong as some of the other kind of party shots. Like these kind of close-up party shots, I think are much stronger in as far as your event coverage goes. And this one to me is definitely what I would consider probably the strongest, and glad that it's your first one on there. Okay, let's go to sports. All right, so we've got extreme sports. We've got dudes jumping bikes and skateboarding. Looks like maybe one flash. This one's outside. This is an interesting idea. I guess, you did a little bit of a composite over here. It's kind of cool. The dude kind of gets lost on this railing with the same kind of Bunker Community College color as his t-shirt. I like what you're going for. Explore it. Make this good shot a great shot. Take it further, okay? Because, if you're willing to put the time to do something like this, then take the time to make it even better. This is nice, but the context is a little bit this kind of office park, not fantastic. Yeah, I mean, look, it's extreme sports. We got some real harsh shadows. Excuse me. Not necessarily a fan of the cigarette butts. I don't see... Oh, I see what you mean. You tied that in because he's, doing a little bit of a trick on this ashtray thing. All right, I see what you did there. Yeah, I mean, look, these are cool. I like this one because of the location. I think it's pretty rad. This is kind of cool. The focus is off, but obviously you're going for it. And, if you're having an issue with that, then just hang out, man. Do what you can to get the shot. Because, having a shot that's almost is not the shot. Yeah, his face is cut off because, you got that one flash popping over there. Yeah, look, the sports stuff is cool. I see what you're doing with the one flash. And I'd like to see you explore this a little bit further. I think that as far as knowing where to put your flash and mixing your ambient light in there is really important. But if you love photographing extreme sports, then, keep at it. Wide angle lens, low angle, always is more dramatic for this kind of stuff. But even with these shots, your processing is really nice. And, you have a good eye for this kind of thing. All right, and let's see. So we just got an about, and the about page is nice. It's a cool picture of you, and good call to action stuff. So Stephen Cameron, I think that you did a nice job with your site. I don't really see a call to action as far as hiring you. Well, it just says please, use the contact form below. But I think that you got some really strong stuff in here, and I think you're onto some really cool things. And I think that if you weed out some of the stuff that's not as strong, your portfolio will actually read a little bit stronger, because we don't need to have, it's not about quantity. Remember, it's about quality. And I think that you've got potential to create even better work than you've already created. But I like what you're onto. All right. Well, thank you, Stephen, for submitting your website portfolio. I think you've got some really nice work here. I think you take really nice photos and have a lot of great potential. I think a lot of your fashion lifestyle stuff is really strong, and maybe stronger than you even may know. And I'd love to see you potentially pursue that. I also think that your event party coverage is really cool, and love to see more of that kind of stuff where you're in the party, you're on the floor, you're on the dance floor, you're capturing like the essence, because it seems like you really have a good knack for kind of capturing people and young people kind of carrying on and doing their thing and having fun, which I think is really super cool. I just wanted to say that if any of you guys want to submit your portfolio, please email it to adamlernerphoto@gmail.com. Put the subject portfolio and just paste the portfolio address, the web address, in the body of the email. And again, I'd like to see actual website portfolios, much more so than a Flickr link or a 500 pix link. Not because those don't count, but I just want to see that you've taken your work one step further by actually creating a legitimate portfolio. So that's it for now. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them below, and we'll see you soon. Thanks for watching my video. If you want to subscribe to my YouTube channel, just click the subscribe button that's located just beneath the video right here. Once you've done that, click on Manage Subscriptions and then check off whether you want to be emailed when I upload a new video or if you want those videos to show up in your newsfeed.